This is the Benro G2 ball head. Just recently got this in. There was very little information online about it, very few reviews, so it must be a newer product or maybe just a less popular product. But I took a look at the specifications and the functions and thought I'd give it a try. But I wanted to make a video so you could see what came in the box and then also a more detailed overview of the features. So we'll get it open up here. The box itself comes in quite heavy. The ball head itself is 1.17 pounds. There's a little dust cover slash bag. This would come in handy if you're transporting your tripod legs and the ball head separately and you don't want the ball head to come in contact with your other gear as you're transporting it. I'll probably keep mine on the tripod almost all the time, so I may not use that much, but it's nice to have. It comes with a instruction manual that is very basic but shows the functions of the head itself, goes over which knob controls what. And then it comes with an Allen key and an adapter for different legs that you might put the ball head on to make sure it fits the thread size on the base of this tripod. So here's this head. So here's the head itself. The box has this dense foam insert, which is what adds a lot to the weight of the box. But the head itself is only 1.17 pounds, which is on the heavier side, but for landscape use and for carrying heavier DSLRs or bigger lenses slash other accessories on top, that weight is coupled by a high weight capacity. You can put just over 30 pounds of weight on the ball head. The ball itself is 44 millimeters or 1.73 inches in diameter, and the larger the ball inside, usually the more it can support. So when it comes out of the box, it comes with a quick release plate. It's an Arca Swiss style. All of the quick release plates I have, besides maybe one, which I don't use anymore, are the Arca Swiss, so that was important to me to have something that would be easily just go in with what I've already been doing with my camera gear, the system, the style that I've already become accustomed to, and what's on all my lenses and camera bodies. The first feature here that I'll go over is the quick release plate knob here that loosens the quick release plate. The cool thing about this is when you turn it, it actually stops itself and the release plate catches. And that way you can't accidentally loosen this and have your gear fall off. So as you loosen it, it catches itself, then you actually have to pull outward and then continue to loosen it for this to come out. So as you have your camera on there, you tighten it all the way down, loosen it, pull out, continue to loosen it, and you can remove it. So the next knob here is the main control knob, and that basically allows the ball head here to move freely. And it's very smooth in the way that it rotates and moves side to side, back and forth. And it's a very well machined. There's no uneven spots, which you'd expect at this price point. It's very well done. The other unique thing about this particular ball head is this friction control function. As you tighten this down and you have your camera on top and you want less play in the ball head, you actually just rotate this circular thing. If you rotate it all the way down, it actually locks it so much in place that even if you twist this just a tiny bit, it stops it, and then you can't move the ball at all. So if you loosen it just a couple turns and then go ahead and loosen it, it allows it to rotate more and then gives you more movement. But if you have a heavy load attached, you could just dial in to balance the weight of the camera with the amount of friction that there is. And if you loosen this all the way, that's where you get full unlocking and then easiest movement in the ball head itself. And then one thing that I found out when I pulled this out and started using it at first is that you have to dial in the friction before you unlock the ball head. So, for example, if I lock down the ball head all the way and try to unscrew it, it's not going to work. But if you start with it, there we go. If you start with it unlocked and you loosen the ball head so it can go freely, and then you dial it down, the ball head still moves freely. And it's not until you tighten this and then re-loosen it that it actually will be able to tighten it, make your adjustment, and then re-loosen it, and then it actually makes a difference. So there's a lot of drag on the ball. So when you're using this, just make sure that it's closed before you choose what friction you want, or else it may not work. Basically, it has to be closed to then know how much friction. So fully open, tighten that down, and it will still go freely. But if you have it closed and tighten it down all the way, then that's when you get the effect of it. And I'll actually make another video with the camera on the ball head showing that a little more in detail. So next over here, this is the last knob. They've made it kind of a square shape, which I really like because it allows you to grab it better. And this one just controls the pan feature. So as it's mounted on the tripod, if you have your camera level up here and the legs level, you can just rotate this to do panorama. Or you can just use it instead of moving your tripod legs, even if you're not worried about a too level of a shot. Instead of having to move the tripod legs, you can just slightly rotate the ball head easily. So that's a quick overview and unboxing of the Benro G2 ball head. It's one that I am very excited to use, just where in the past I've had some ball heads that had given out over time. The internal mechanics weren't built very well. And so I spent a little bit more on this one in hopes that it will last me for hopefully forever. On these higher end products, usually they're built to last a lifetime. Benro does have a really good 7-year, or maybe 6-year, 6 or 7 year warranty. And so it makes it very easy to have confidence that even if something did go wrong, that they would take care of it. But everything's very solidly built. I like the rubber grips. It makes it so that it's easy to grab on all these knobs, and it's easy to distinguish between them in the dark because of their size. And I like that this has the friction control built in so that there's not an additional knob sticking out that's easy to confuse the two in the dark. If you have any questions about it or want to see anything particular in the next video I make where it's actually on the tripod legs and has a camera on it, let me know and I'll make sure to include it in the video, answer any questions that you have, and give more detail on how this head works.